Hello, welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. This is open mic night where we talk about news, rumors, and more. First, we're going to talk about Goldberg versus Gunther.
A disappointment. A huge disappointment for Gunther. Because why are they bringing back? Isn't Goldberg like 60 years old?
Well, hold on, before we really get into it. Yes, he's old. Um let's figure out how this whole thing got started. So, a few months back at Bad Blood, the PLE for WWE, we had Gunther come out, cut a promo, and he notices Bill Goldberg in the audience, and he's there with his son Gage. And basically, Gunther, he mentioned before that Bret Hart was his favorite wrestler or something, and then he said, I was lying. It's actually Goldberg or something like that, right? I think he said that to Bret Hart, actually.
Right.
Okay, so fast forward, you get to Bad Blood, and Gunther basically tells Goldberg that he lied to Bret Hart, that he doesn't even like Goldberg or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somehow, months later, Goldberg reappears, and now it's a problem, right? And not only is it a problem, but he also wants a championship shot out of nowhere, right? You got people competing in King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring and winning Royal Rumbles, Money in the Bank, and this guy shows up out of nowhere. We haven't seen him in years, right? In a ring, and he just gets a title shot just like that. I mean, what do you think about Goldberg versus Gunther?
I think it's trash. It's ridiculous. It's a step down for Gunther in my opinion, and it's really a slap in the face for everyone else who actually wants a title shot and be on top and stuff. Unfortunately, you have someone like Logan Paul right now is injured because I'm pretty sure they would have done something like that with Gunther and Logan Paul, but now we have to deal with Bill Goldberg who can barely walk down the ring and stuff like that. Like, gosh, the question is, can he even do like the spear and jackhammer? I feel like he should just stay in the sideline. Like, you have someone like John Cena, he's doing his revenge tour. He actually been trying to wrestle people and stuff. And Goldberg, he's been gone for like, let's say 3 years possibly, and then come back and just, oh, I want a title shot. Buddy, your time is up. Okay, like sit to the side. It's time to bring in some fresh new talents and stuff. It's time for Gunther to face other people to see who he like. Let's see who can Gunther could go against, like someone like Penta. Like, can he deal with like luchas? You know what I'm saying? Can he deal with like someone his size, like
LA Knight.
LA Knight? But now they have LA Knight dealing with Seth freaking Rollins out of nowhere.
I honestly think Gunther is the perfect heel for LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think because for one, LA Knight's flamboyant and charismatic, etc., loudmouth. Okay, loves the people love him. Then you got Gunther, who's all Mr. Traditional and the mad it's sacred, etc., right? Ring general or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That it's polar opposites, right? I think they would match up perfect together.
Way better than him and Jey Uso.
Yet better than Seth Rollins. I mean,
Most definitely.
I just think the snarkiness and the arrogance of Gunther versus the trash talking, blah 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 of
Mega
LA
starring.
Knight. You know what I mean? I really think that would be a good feud. And I mean, since they don't, I don't know if they're ever gonna put the WWE title on LA Knight. I don't know, but I think the world title would make more sense right now.
Yeah.
Especially like you were saying, like the opponents for Gunther seem scarce. It's like nobody wants to see Jay and Gunther again for the 9th time. Okay, I honestly think LA Knight would be the perfect opponent for Gunther.
I agree. That's why I'm like disappointed with this match. I honestly do not even Night of Champions. It's not even look like something well watching, in my opinion. They're throwing in Goldberg and Gunther. Then it just threw in Zelina and Julie. Who looking for that? Oh, and then the kicker. Now we got Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the 20th time for the last women standing. It's like, Lord, it's just repeated matches. It's not
At first, I didn't really care for that match, and I low key still don't. But I love a stipulation match.
Yeah,
The problem
exactly.
is though, WWE even when they have stipulation matches, they never really quite feel like a stipulation because they don't really lean into it. Like the last two stipulation matches that we got actual like where you were reminded that it is a stipulation. They interacted accordingly, and that was the steel cage match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, classic, and the TLC triple tag team match or whatever with the Street Profits, DIY, and who was it, Motor City Machine Guns?
Yep.
Okay, banger. That's an instant classic. Those two stand out because they really leaned into the stipulations, right? Like they use weapons, etc. And in the steel cage match, you got Drew and Punk just getting brutal and using the cage and blood, etc. Like, yeah.
It
But
just
with
felt
this
real.
last woman standing match, they're
Right.
probably barely gonna even go outside the ring.
I can see Nia Jax being more aggressive than Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And it's like, honestly, Tiffy time to me it's time to be over. Okay. It's like she really hasn't have a decent title reign. I mean, if they put the belt on Naomi, I can see Naomi making the title more important than Tiffany has.
Oh, of course. That would
Like,
definitely generate some interest.
yeah.
And I mean, who's gonna chase Naomi, right? Stay tuned. But it already is it would be more interesting. I mean, Tiffany's had that title for however long, probably like almost a year at this point. And well, it feels like it. but but she's done nothing. She's maybe defended it 5 times, maybe.
Maybe. And it's been Nia Jax majority of the time. So it's like maybe she probably defended it twice. Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair's the only matches I can remember.
But even just defending it, right? She hasn't even wrestled that often.
No.
And barely cuts promos.
God, they're trash.
I mean, like I said before, people were complaining about Io, but Tiffany's had her title longer and done nothing with it. So I mean, they clearly rushed it, getting her the title. It's like I would have rather them, instead of just putting a title on her, thinking that was gonna like make her more popular, etc.
Well, the original story, if I mean to be corrected, I believe there's supposed to be Charlotte, like Tiffany's supposed to still be with Nia Jax, but because Charlotte injury was pushed back even more, it goes back to like what you said, they rushed it. And honestly, they should have found a different angle because now it's like, look at Charlotte Flair. She wrestles Tiffany at WrestleMania 41, and now she's trying to be in a potential tag team with Alexa Bliss, a 14-time or maybe 15-time women's champion, and they're trying to make her a tag team.
Do we know for sure that's what they're trying to do, is a tag team?
Well, I mean, all we can do is watch because like
or maybe it's just I have your back, you have my back type of thing.
Well,
yes, they'll probably.
That.
I mean, it's WWE.
Exactly.
Can they coexist? So of course they'll be in a tag team match, but I don't think they're trying to officially make them a tag team. Because for one, who are they going to even go up against?
They have.
There's no one left. I mean,
they got rid of most of all of them.
You know what I mean? Like they nuked their tag teams. So, I mean, who would they even go against? That's why I don't think it'll actually be a tag team. I think it'll be more like I have your back, you'll have mine, but we still don't completely trust each other. You know what I mean? Or at least Charlotte probably won't completely trust Alexa, and then you'll get a feud out of that. So.
No, all we could do is hope.
Yo, but one thing you said about John Cena, right? The revenge tour or whatever. Something that has been very noticeable, ever since John Cena started showing up more, and also with The Rock, with the Elimination Chamber and all that, and the no-show or whatever at WrestleMania. Not that he no-showed, he just wasn't a part of it. But it really exposed, like, how much WWE is lacking star power.
Right.
I mean, it's like if John Cena wasn't even on this week's SmackDown, who would have even cared about what happened on SmackDown?
I know I didn't. Like except we're on SmackDown right now. I want to talk about the segment when Cody came out and pretty much said nothing You have Randy Orton, you have Sami Zayn, you have Jey Uso talking a whole bunch of. It's like they was trying to. I don't know. It's like they always like trying to talk to Cody. Like this is why we need the title, bruh. Y'all not fighting Cody. You're fighting John Cena. Like Cody can't even get one word out. I mean, it's to the point. Is Cody like over it? Maybe he might finally get rid of this whole baby face run. Hopefully, and then listen to Sami Zayn's, little promo how he never won a world championship, not even undisputed championship. He almost sounded maybe a little frustrated, so maybe he finally turned heel, hopefully.
This is just reminding me of like when Cody got frustrated, I believe it was with John Cena, to the point where Cody comes out and he's like, enough! Right? Like he got fed up to the point where he started doing that and he got fired up talking or what. I feel like that's kind of where they're trying to go with Cody. Because they're trying to make him interesting, but without the title and without the actual I don't know. It's like he's just there. He felt like just the guy in the ring. Like he didn't feel no bigger, no more important than Sami Zayn. Randy comes in and big bros everybody. I mean, Jey Uso looked like a little kid in there next to Randy Orton when he was talking to him near the ropes or whatever. Like, I mean, it was just like these guys want to be stars, and then Randy Orton comes in and it's like that's a star. But then John Cena comes in, that's a superstar or mega star. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'd say superstar, because if The Rock come in there, that's your mega star right there. I mean, it gets super loud when he shows up. They loud for John Cena, right? But like when The Rock comes in, like the building shakes. But
he has the whole goosebumps going on.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, it just goes to show you, like all those guys were in the ring, and it was just like, what are y'all even talking about?
That's what I'm saying. It was like pointless. Like you have Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. Like we all know Randy's gonna win, so that was a pointless match. And now you have Jey Uso versus Cody. I wonder who's gonna win that one.
A lot of people were saying that they would actually want to see Randy versus Jey, and that would be more of an underdog versus we expect Randy Orton to beat Jey. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in any of these matchups.
No.
Like, I mean, we really couldn't get Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed going deeper into this. Like, we really had to get all the same people that we always see.
Hey, what about Carmelo Hayes?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even settle for Aleister Black. He literally came back. Ron Killing should have got a chance. I mean, he finally, like, I actually, while I bring up Ron Killing, I like what Ron Killing's doing. This whole split personality kind of thing, hinge guy. It's like you have R-Truth, who's like the nice guy, and then Ron Killing's like, nah, enough of this. It's like they're being disrespectful. Now it's trying to bring out the big guns.
I actually like what he did when he was talking to Aleister Black, and then Damian Priest came up to like cool things between them two. And, Aleister Black's like, Ron or Truth. And then, or he was like Ron, and then Aleister, and then Ron Killings is like Black. Right? Like it just shows he ain't taking no crap. You know what I mean? R-Truth would have just been like, "All right, dog," whatever. Like he would have just brushed it off. He wouldn't even notice he's trying to insult him or nothing, right? But Ron Killings ain't taking nothing. And then, Damian Priest tries to like calm Ron Killings down. He's like, yo, we're gonna go out on the town and celebrate, blah, 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 right? But then we get the Ron Killings has like either the last word and also the last look into the camera, and it's like, nah, Ron Killings is driving. Like he tried to make it seem like R-Truth was who Damian Priest was talking to. But when he looks over at like the camera, the audience basically, he's letting us know, no, this is still Ron Killings. He's manipulating this whole situation right now. So I don't know. We'll probably end up getting a feud between Damian and Ron, to be honest.
I would like to see a feud with him. I would like to see a feud with him and Aleister Black, just because that little
the little interaction they had.
Exactly. I would like to see that. I feel like if he's gonna go over John Cena, it's probably should be the last match. Especially he just signed a new contract. I won't mind for him to take the belt off of John Cena and then maybe be a champion for like, let's say 90, not too long, but like a decent title run before he's
He could
out the
even be
door
just a
too.
transitional, to
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
honest.
saying. Like a decent title run, just so he can get the belt on him. But I would like to see that for
He
Ron Killings.
basically an updated Mick Foley winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. Unfortunately though, Triple H is booking, and I really don't see him doing anything because already I just feel like he's like, okay, you had Ron Cena versus John Cena, right? And then you have R-Truth getting like basically not renewing his contract, letting him go.
Mm-hmm.
The fans speak up, they bring him back. He clearly starts a character change, etc., right? And then they proceed to start to run back John Cena and Ron Killings, right, to try and continue that. The problem is now all of a sudden they threw CM Punk in there, they threw this person in there, they threw that person in there. So Ron Killings doesn't feel as important going against Cena anymore.
That's a
Because
fact.
now Cena's like being stretched between like 4 different people, with Ron
Yeah.
Killings being one of them. So it's like, okay, well, that doesn't feel as special anymore. Or it doesn't even
No.
stand out anymore. It's like, and then they just have this match on SmackDown, which felt unimportant.
Yeah, because it's like what he basically Ron Killings won by DQ and
Yeah,
stuff.
like, and then it was just a nothing because you got CM Punk come out, get put through the table, and then John Cena proceeds to cut his pipe bomb, right, which completely overshadowed the fact that him and Ron Killings just had a match.
Mm-hmm. And it made CM Punk look stupid, like he was just sleeping on the table.
But it's like, okay, they just had a match, and John Cena was talking about, the truth is, he's a joke, and you people didn't like that was something that they were supposed to lean into more. The fact that the people brought Ron Killings back, and that John Cena was talking all this. John Cena represented basically like the corporation or TKO or Triple H, or you know what I mean. He represented those who got rid of Ron Killings. So Ron Killings was supposed to represent the people, and it was supposed to be bigger than this, and they just kind of threw it away. So I'm really curious to see, okay, like what y'all gonna do with Ron Killings now, because you just completely watered down what they had going on.
I agree.
So I'm really curious. I really hope that Triple H does something that makes this feel important again. Otherwise,
All we can do is sit back and just cross our fingers. But while we're talking about um what he's going to be doing, we haven't been seeing a few superstars like Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bates for a while, and probably a few more to see is he going to even push them anymore, or are they part of the release?
still missing.
And then
Honestly, I think out of all those people, Ludwig Kaiser he's gonna end up being involved in something. And if not, man, dang,
he's
you
going to be
straight
released.
dropped the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I would like to see him I would love to see him get pushed, but I would say the Intercontinental Championship. But right now it's on Dominic Mysterio, which was another superstar. I'm glad they put it on him, but they really haven't did anything with him, and now they have him going against AJ Styles. In a way, I'm not seeing AJ Styles being dominant because the whole unless Finn Balor screws Dominic, then I could see that happening. But I'm not seeing AJ Styles beating Dominic unless Finn is supposed to be the one to take the belt off of him.
If they were to do Finn, Screw, and Dominic, the only way that would even make sense, besides just their little thing that they got going on, was like if Finn and AJ were to like join and like almost, because I mean they got Bullet Club history, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that would be cool, because like then you can have either Finn kind of head of that, and that they forming some kind of little group going against Judgment Day. Maybe JD McDonough has to pick a side. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is they don't have enough men in the Judgment Day. So
yeah.
But
you know another thing, now that things might shake up a little bit in the Judgment Day, it is Triple H. They might do something like Roxanne was trying making some moves on Dominic and stuff like that. Little repeat.
Yeah, but with Liv in her situation, that's gonna make it really difficult to keep going with that. Cause like although Triple H likes to drag out stories, right? I mean, you got to drag out that for a long time. Like, and can that really hold our interest for that long? You know what I mean? Without that integral part, Liv Morgan, being involved, because she would definitely spice it up. You know what I mean? But without her, it's like, how much are they really going to be able to do?
Because she's out for what, 6 months possibly?
Well, let's talk about it.
I feel like if she's out for 6 months, let's say she had her surgery, I can imagine Liv coming back, not fully, like what Dominic did. Dominic hurt his shoulder and stuff.
He was still there,
He was
involved
still
and
there
whatnot.
somewhat and stuff like that. And he just wore this little sling until he like gotten like, 100% and cleared. So I can see Liv doing that. Like get her little surgery. Let's say she comes back after 2 or 3 weeks of surgery, and then that will give Roxanne like those 2-3 weeks window to like trying to manipulate Dominic and stuff like that, like distraction or whatever. Like they might do a turn instead of her actually having a crush on Dominic. She's actually gonna be the distraction for Dominic.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah, like just a little, because remember Finn's sneaky. He's all like happy for Dominic and stuff. Like, yeah, I can stay back here in the Judgment Day clubhouse and keep watch.
Yeah, I can continue to scheme.
Exactly. And he's ready to like blow up and just want to take that title for Dominic. Finn is a jealous person. Look what he did to Damian Priest. He also did it to, I believe, AJ Styles when they used to be. It was AJ Styles, Liv Morgan, and them. He did it to them to join the Judgment Day. I can see him turning his back on Dominic. Most definitely, 100%.
Well, first, let's talk about why Liv Morgan won't be around in the first place. She had a match with Kairi Sane recently on Monday Night Raw, and a freak accident. I mean, it was like a drop toe hold basically, and Liv Morgan, braces herself for a fall just like any other normal drop toe hold, and dislocates her shoulder. The match is pretty much stopped. Liv goes outside of the ring. The referee's like, "No, Kairi, back up." They get the doctor out there. They stop the match immediately. Now a lot of people, are looking at Kairi saying like, "Girl, like, you over here just injuring people. Like you like how Nia used to be."
And look what happened.
Nia Jax, right? Like, I mean, yeah, Zoe had that crazy springboard drop kick gone wrong, which completely tore her knee up.
Yeah.
And she's out.
She's probably coming back, to be honest.
No, she is. She recently put out this video where she was saying that she's not retiring, and she's already been like she's doing rehab and whatnot, and she's like definitely coming back. She's like, Zoe Starks is not done. I got plenty of work I need to do, and blah. You know what I mean? It's like she's still hungry, so good for her.
Awesome for her, and hopefully when she's like 100% and in the right, storyline or whatever with WWE, I hope she gets a push that she deserves. Like right now, speaking of pushes, we see Lyra Valkyria might actually turn not being a nice girl anymore after her little talk with Bailey, when Bailey didn't answer her phone calls,
where Bailey basically says she's looking out for herself or what's good for her or something like that, right? And then Lyra in turn says, well, if you do win that Intercontinental Championship from Becky, I'm gonna do what's best for me, right? And it's like,
what you talking about, Lyra?
It's like I'm still not interested in Bailey whatsoever. But if that's what I need to see for Lyra to evolve into like some new character or whatever, then I'm here for it, because I think Lyra can be interesting. It's just finding that character that unlocks like her personality and shows more charisma and whatnot. Because obviously in the ring she's really good, right? But it's just a matter of finding that character, and that's how you like go from just average to like superstar status. At least that's an opening for it to happen. So I mean, I'm here for that. I think Lyra would make a really good, if she ain't going full heel, I think whatever she's gonna go close to like a heel, I don't think she's gonna be a tweener.
Nah.
I don't think the mic skills are there for that.
I would like to see full heel Lyra. It's time to girl start snatching some feathers. While we're talking about heel, let's talk about some potential baby faces. That rumor is that there might be some new baby faces after Night of Champions. One of them was Dominic Mysterio.
He's halfway there already, so
I hope he stays a tweener, especially last Monday the crowd was still booing him in a way.
I honestly think he would be a perfect tweener.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's that and I feel like the crowd can always go back to booing certain things that he does and it still be cool. Like, you know, like he plays off the crowd really good. And I also think he could be the type of tweener, like he can get away with talking trash to heels and baby faces and the crowd could still get behind him. Just because he's got like a really good personality. Like, you know what I mean? He's very charismatic and whatnot. People claim that he can't really cut a promo or whatever, but honestly, I think he can. I think Dom has definitely gotten better on the mic. He killed, like, every time he's in one of those Judgment Day segments, it's either him or Liv Morgan that stand out.
Yeah.
Finn's been holding his own with stuff like that just because, like, we all know he's sneaky. You know what I mean? And he just leans into that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see Dominic either. I don't want to say babyface because I feel like he'd be bland as a babyface. Like tweener though, yes.
Another person I feel like would be bland as a babyface would be Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
Nah.
I'd rather Drew keep praying for you know his opponents and oh well, you're not gonna make it to the match, huh? I tried to tell you, but you're in everybody's business except your own.
Exactly. And then we have, we've been seeing little backstage segments on Raw with Austin Theory and his partner. Forgot his partner name.
Grayson Waller.
Yeah, yes.
The longest breakup in history.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to see Austin Theory as a full baby face. I prefer him as a tweener.
I need Austin Theory to be that arrogant,
all day.
selfie taking, the one that Vince McMahon was pushing, the guy that beat John Cena, what was it, at WrestleMania, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I need that Austin Theory. That one had my attention. But this, I don't know, this version of Austin Theory that chose the United States title for a cash-in of Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
No, go somewhere.
Who booked that? But a person I do not want to see as a babyface or a tweener really is, she was injured for a while, is Kiana James.
I never saw anything except an entrance from her, honestly. Like, the presentation is there as far as like what she had on NXT.
Right.
But we didn't see anything on the main roster before she just been out forever. So I just have to, when they bring her back, whenever that is, I have to see how they reintroduce her because nobody remembers her. So I just have to see how they reintroduce her, how they package, and then just go from there. But right now, she just hasn't really done much of anything. And even in NXT, she really didn't do much. Like, we knew she was there because she had that really good entrance and just the character stood out, right?
Right.
But it's not like they really pushed her to go that far. Like, what'd she win? A North American? No, that wasn't even there when she was there. She never won.
She basically won just a tag team title with Fallon Henley.
That's it. Okay.
It. But
where are those tag team titles?
They're on Liv Morgan. Well, they're on Liv Morgan and Raquel, but it might change.
The NXT tag titles?
There's no NXT tag title. They merged it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it makes sense. You don't need all them titles. Like, that's why people.
They barely even need the tag titles on the main roster.
Exactly. But moving on from that, the moment we all been waiting for, the draft. The draft might be happening after SummerSlam. That's a long wait. And they already showing like certain people in different brands right now. Like LA Knight is showing a different brands. Jey Uso, which I doubt they're going to put Jey Uso on SmackDown because he's really hot on Netflix. But while we're talking about Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, people have been talking about they might be tag team partners again.
They almost have to. I mean, Jey has run his course. As a singles competitor, I mean, if you got to have him and Gunther fight each other or back to back to back, and there's real. I mean, they ran their course with Jay. Okay, yeah, the Yeet thing is still there, but honestly, it's just like I don't know how much further you can go with Jay. Like I think he's already hit a ceiling.
Right.
His promos suck. At least as a single star, because when he was bouncing off of Jay, when they they do their thing, you can get away with that. But like as a single star, what I'ma do, Oos? Yeah, I'ma pull up, yeah, and then I'ma do what I said I'ma do. Yeah, 4 letters, 1 word. Yeah. Like, how many times can you hear that same promo? Come on, man. Nah.
Well, we're gonna see what's gonna happen there in the draft after SummerSlam potentially, and what's gonna shake up. Because some people need some fresh faces. Like I would say, LA Knight, Carmelo Hayes, Jacob Fatu could stay on SmackDown right now. I would love to see Solo on Raw. In my opinion, something different, little shaker. I can see Cody on Raw too. AJ Styles probably on SmackDown. Seth Rollins mostly staying on Raw. Actually, I would like to see Cody and Seth Rollins on Raw. They already teasing that those two might come face to face with each other, so I can see that happening.
Well, they did have that awkward stare down.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm like,
that took forever.
I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Like, just make out already. Like, what are y'all doing? But for me, right? Since when the draft started and all, I wasn't really watching around that time. I was watching before they actually even had the show SmackDown, right? And I was watching whenever they brought the show SmackDown. It was like basically Rock show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But back then they didn't have like a separation of the roster. Like these people only show up on SmackDown, these people only show up on Raw. They mixed it. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what they're doing now. Except they just don't do it as much. But, like, I kind of prefer that way. Like, I want anybody to show up on any show.
Right, the throw, yeah.
And I want anybody to be able to challenge for any title. And I feel like you can do a lot more with that and not have to reshuffle every year or whatever. Like, I just feel like it's kind of pointless because all right. They did the reshuffle. Carmelo Hayes was the number 1 draft pick or whatever. Cool. But people are still showing up on any show regardless. So what was the point of a draft? Because it doesn't limit anybody from showing up on this show, showing up on that show. So once again, what's the point of the draft? You might as well just let them mix it up. And it's much easier to do stories that way because now you don't have that limitation, that invisible wall between both shows. So, I mean, for me, I would love if they opened it up like that because then your women's division is much deeper, like as far as like you could do more with it with cross brand. And I mean those mid-card titles for the men, now it gets more interesting because you got people on Raw who probably would do good if they were competing for that US title and vice versa. And as far as the Intercontinental title too, it's like where you only get these same pool of guys, and we once they got their like 3 people that compete for the title, it's like we're going to see them all year compete for that title. And that gets so boring really fast. Like it just, yeah. I'd rather it just be opened up and mixed.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I mean, it worked back in the day, so.
Just a quick little filler. I don't know if people heard, but Cora Jade was probably thinking about going to AEW because she likes how their fighting style is.
Mm-hmm.
But she went from that to OnlyFans, girl. Good luck with that.
I think that was probably the smart decision for her because she can't hang. She is not gonna be able to last in no AEW.
I don't feel
them girls actually move over there like they ain't. She learned the WWE style,
right? Not
knowing no kind of wrestling whatsoever before that. And not very athletic on top of that. I'm sorry. She looks more like she should be modeling instead of wrestling. Like she's closer to looking like a cheerleader than she is a wrestler. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, because like she just does not have the build for a wrestler. She's so small, like, and then she's injury prone on top of that. She's a younger Dakota Kai.
I'm done.
With enhancements.
Well, moving on to the NXT brand.
Hold on. Before we do that, though, when it comes to Cora Jade and OnlyFans, right? Like, do you think she would end up being kind of like a Mandy Rose?
No, that was
But
definitely
what I'm
not.
saying is like how Mandy Rose just blew up, and like I think it was like her first week she already made $1 million on OnlyFans.
I feel like Cora Jade will do good on it, but she's not going to be touching Mandy Rose success anytime soon.
Well, it's not. I'm not saying mimic it, but like, how do you think she'll do coming out the gate?
Nah, not like Mandy Rose. Nah. Like really, no. I mean, there's really nothing to say about Cora Jade because she's not really like a top star that anyone really is familiar with. Like Mandy Rose has been a bodybuilder. She did modeling. Then she got into OnlyFans. She blew up doing stuff like that and stuff. Like she's really big on social media. Cora Jade is just
Probably
getting her
helped
foot. Yeah,
that she had Toxic
you
Attraction, that
know, stuff
act,
like
and she was
that.
the women's champ for NXT for what, a year or something
Yeah.
before. Yeah, so that also helped.
And then Cora Jade is like, Cora Jade is still like trying to get familiar with like, well, let's say she want to go back to wrestling. She's not really a good wrestler and stuff like that. She's just trying to still figure out what kind of character she wanted to be, you know? So nah. So moving from Cora Jade, we'll just go a short little brief about NXT. So we had Blake Monroe sign her contract last Tuesday or this Tuesday, and we had Fatal Influence pretty much is like, oh, another newbie trying to, jump the line, and they pretty much put her through a table. I like the segment. Even though we all know Blake Monroe could pretty much crush all three of these ladies, but she was like, you know what? She might come back stronger now next Tuesday. She might debut in the ring, and she's coming for them, all three of them.
I think she's just gonna outsmart them. Like she's gonna
Right.
show like just how grimy she can be.
Exactly.
I mean, this woman's. I think she like spit in her mom's face and slapped her or something on an AEW pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, she's grimy. Like
very.
they don't know what they just started with Blake Monroe.
So I'm looking forward to Blake Monroe in NXT for her short period of time. I feel like Jordan Gray's time is up in NXT, and let's just be honest, she gonna have to like her music. I'm not really big on her music. This baby face she's doing, not feeling. You're the juggernaut. It's time for her to get mean and greeny. I mean, especially you about to go to the main roster, and if you're not showing no reaction from the crowd, that is a big like red flag for like TKO, Triple H, and all of them.
Yeah, she's gonna just be a body in the division.
Exactly.
Like she's gonna be like almost like how they use AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get a decent match or whatever, and maybe AJ Styles gonna win it, but no, fell short again. Plus, on top of that, we know AJ doesn't want to be a champion anyways.
Exactly.
So just like what we were talking about with Dominic Mysterio earlier, it's like, will AJ win? Probably not, because we know he doesn't want to be a champion. It's basically just like Sheamus. You know what I mean? Where he's just there to like help people get over and blah blah blah. Like it's like their last years of wrestling. So, Jordan Grace, there's nothing really interesting about Jordan Grace. There's no character there. I mean, I wish she would lean into like Big Mama Pump and all that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, do something to make look. Treat us like we've never seen you before. Treat us like we've never heard of you, none of your, previous character, whatever. Like, and introduce us. Like, tell us why we should actually care.
Agree.
You know what I mean? And so far, it's like all they've done is bring her out. Okay, she looks strong, right? Whatever. But, I mean, it's like, we're just supposed to know who she is, and we're supposed to know that she's this good, and we're supposed to, like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, like, it's the same thing people be complaining about AEW. It's like when we're just supposed to know these things, right? With Jordan Grace, it's like, yo, y'all gonna have to do some leg work because she's boring.
Yeah. So moving from Jordan Grace, I don't want to put too much attention on her. I like how Trick Williams pretty much just